Okay, so let me get the negatives out the way first, because this is delightfully put together graphically. And the lighting is good, the set out in general is good, apart from changing the camera in level 3, which you won't see in this, but for some reason the creator decided to go for a side-on camera that doesn't work on narrow pathways, because you're not locked to that level. You are still free to move left and right, which means you've often slide off the edge without knowing. But let me get the negatives out the way first. Loud bit, wet fart. You'll see this theme running throughout the game, and it begins to grate on you. It begins to irritate you quite a lot. Some of the talking are belches. Belches that you would probably leave a restaurant if you heard. The farts become monotone and repetitive too, and eventually begin to irritate you. So get rid of this type of thing. Get rid of the silly fart sounds. Get rid of all that, because it's dragging this down. I mean, seriously, it drags this beautiful creation down. It's so frustrating to see. But now let's have a look at the level. And another thing, cut down how far these enemies can knock you, because sometimes they knock you right over the other side of the level. It's a little bit ridiculous. It's just a little bit too much. And this as well, I would put a bottom on that. There's very little point in that river being there. It doesn't drown you, so just make sure that you can only go, I don't know, paddle in it or something. But all in all, it's wonderful, and I'll show you the first 2 levels, because the 3rd level, in the end, I just gave up on it because of the camera. It's so well done. A lot of care and attention has gone into the layout of this level. Lots of little pieces of detail, like that pumpkin patch, like this burning barrel here, like these laid round here, like the booze on the seat, like the house and the lighting, and the steps, and this little bit here, look, the stones and the grass. The telegraph poles. It's fantastic. Fantastic. And I just want to point something else out while I'm here. I collected, that was the very last thing I collected. And as soon as you collect the last thing, a camera shoots you over to where you leave. Now, if that's your very last thing you collect, which is a trampoline or a bounce pad, if you want to call it a bounce pad, then you bounce up while at the same time the camera zooms over there, which led to me falling off the edge. Now, I would make it so when you landed on there, it sets the camera off, if that is indeed the last one you collect that you need. Doesn't matter anywhere else, but there I would make sure that you could only set that camera off if you land here, so that at least it's not, it felt a bit as if I was cheated there a bit, because I had no option. I could not see the platform I was landing on. It just happened. But look at it. It reminds me a little bit of Pip Skywalker in that the space has been cleverly used. It's used nice sound effects for everything else. For the collection. For the springboard. That's a good sound for a springboard. You see, and that's what the camera does. Wherever you collect the last one, the camera does that. So when you collect it on that button there, you are in the air and you do not know where you're going to land. Because you can't see it. But I'll show you the next level. Because that's awesome too. And then you'll hear the belching, which is for talking. Now, amongst some people, that might be funny. But I can bet your life the majority of people eventually will find that not funny. So I would cater to the majority, not the minority. Look at this though. This is exceptionally well made. Look at it. This is so good. I mean, these are probably assets from the community, I do not know, but it doesn't really matter. Like I said before, it's how you put them together, and the way this person has put this together is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Damn it, I forgot to jump. Now adds. Whoops. Missed it. Try this one more time. Right, I want to get past that. Because you see, they can hit you so hard that it just knocks you right across the other side of the level. So I just avoid them. Whereas in the other games that use this character, because this is a repurposed Fox character, I enjoy the fighting. But this one, I avoid the fighting because it's just because it knocks you too far too far. Get out my way. Yeah, you see, I just don't want to engage with them at all. So I want to get through the level. And you don't need to kill them, so... you got to make those enemies fun to fight. If you don't need to kill them, people will just go past them. Simply because of that being slightly unfair. But once a bit of music's added into this, Oh god, no. Oh, I'll get this one then. You see how far it, look how far it throws you. Where was the one I missed? Ah, there it is. Same one I missed last time, but funnily enough. I've got to say this is the weirdest review I've done, because this is one of the better games I've seen in a very long time. But it's completely hampered by all that stuff. Just a little more thought. Just a little more thought. And I'll show you a quick glimpse at the next level. Maybe the camera will reset this time and it'll work properly. And here is the last level. Now, I'm not going to go through this because, to be quite honest, I find the gameplay too irritating on this bridge to want to continue. I think the camera needs putting back to where it first was when we played it, because it goes sideways. And the first section, you walk along here, it's sideways. And then once you get further through like that, I just move to one side without knowing it because it's a cutscene. The camera is now, look, see how I'm on the edge there because I kept moving, because the camera unexpectedly moved, and I had to walk. I don't know why the creators decided to have a completely different camera setup for this. Because look, I don't know where that ball is. At all. I don't know where it is. It's there. You see? Now I'm walking off and I'm just a very tiny dot in the distance. And then, for no apparent reason, it gives you a side-on camera. And this section is so... it's just awkward, man. Just awkward. So I just return the camera in this section back to what it was in the first two sections, because that worked just perfectly. Reduce the enemy's ability to push you back. Completely revamp the sound effects. Get rid of the belching and the farting. And this is awesome. Fantastic. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you on another one. Bye everyone.